House of the Dragon made its return with the Battle of the Gullet, and there will be consequences for both sides of the dance. Even though Rhaenyra has lost one dragon and its rider, she still has the superior firepower, and once she learns of her oldest son and heir's death, then I would not want to be either a resident of the Red Keep, nor a member of her council. Gone will be the days of the Dragon Queen holding out at Dragonstone, trying to find a peaceful way to end the Targaryen civil war. This conflict has cost her 2 sons, and the time is now for her to take the Iron Throne by fire and blood. The second episode of the 3rd season will see Rhaenyra finally take King's Landing, which was the original plan for the season 2 finale, so no doubt this one will be an event. It is well known that some folk have watched the first 4 episodes, and there are leaks out there, so I'm not going to BS you guys. I've only watched the first one, and I don't keep up to date on leaks anymore, but I will include some book spoilers here. There's no point in avoiding it, to be honest. I'm going to give you guys some of my thoughts on where I think the show's heading. And first and foremost, who's going to tell Rhaenyra about Jace? Baela is clearly looking for him, and Alan, man, you may have killed the Admiral, you may have won the favour of your father, but come on, Jace's body isn't even cold yet. I don't expect they'll spend too much time counting their dead, but Corlys will never be the same after the sacking of High Tide. His pride and joy, the symbol of his wealth and power, all the adventures he went on to become the richest man in the realm. It looks like Baela will be the one to bring Jace home, rightfully so, and if you thought Rhaenyra was pissed last week, then you've seen nothing yet. This will be the last time her authority will be undermined, heads will likely roll. She never got any closure with Luke, but at least she gets closure with Jace. And as Daemon tells her, will she let his death be in vain? So pack up your dragon and let's take the capital. But what about Rhaena, who by bringing a wild dragon sheep stealer into the fight basically caused all this mess? All she ever wanted was to claim a dragon and feel like she belonged in the family. But as we've been told time and time again, it's just an illusion that the Targaryens truly control the dragons. They are a force of nature. If they want to do something, there's nothing that's going to stop them. And Rhaena, like pretty much every secondary character, hasn't been given their fair share of screen time, but as we've long expected, she has taken up the role of Nettles from the book, the mysterious dragon seed who bonds with Sheepstealer and becomes very close with Daemon Targaryen. The books even speculate that they could be lovers, but it's clear Daemon finally starts acting like the father he should have been to his girls. Rhaena will be full of guilt, and I honestly don't know what Rhaenyra will do with her if she learned it was her who rode the wild dragon. Daemon is clearly 100% behind his wife and her claim. He spent an entire season tripping at Harrenhal, and by the end of it he has become a true believer. He has shown cutting down her foes on their path to the Iron Throne. 6 men or 60, he is still Daemon Targaryen. But what if Rhaena is found out to be the rider of Sheepstealer? Will Daemon eventually have to choose between his wife and daughter? It's clear we're going to see a much darker side to the Realm's Delight now, and once she gets the Iron Throne, she will do whatever she can to keep it, and of course keep her family safe. We were told her sons of Daemon, Aegon and Viserys, were far too young for the Gullet, a problem the writers created for themselves, mind you, and they were sent to Pentos last season for their own safety, but Rhaena was meant to go with them, but she had other ideas. Yet another reason Rhaenyra might have it in for Rhaena by the end of this story. If she calls for Rhaena's head, then maybe that's the reason Daemon and Nettles fly off to Harrenhal in Season 4, rather than the book's version of events where she becomes distrustful of the dragon seeds and very jealous of Nettles and Daemon. All this information conveniently fed to her by her new best friend forever, Mysaria. And I've long expected Rhaenyra will start to believe it's her destiny to rule. All she's suffered, all she's endured, all the losses, in the end, it's her destiny to rule. And to keep her promise that she made to her father to protect the Conqueror's dream, the Song of Ice and Fire. We've long awaited for Rhaenyra to finally snap, and the combination of the loss of Jace, the betrayal that she feels at the hands of her Queensguard and Council, the continuation of not being accepted as the Queen, all because she's a woman, the whispers inside her ears, and inevitable betrayals only means we're finally going to get our wish. As for the dragon seeds, they have clearly sown the seeds for their betrayal. Ulf and Hugh are the ones to watch. Ulf rides Silverwing and Hugh Vermithor, 2 of the older and more powerful dragons in the realm. They were promised a knighthood and a better life, but why stop there? After all they've been through, why settle for that when you can have everything? Why bend the knee to Rhaenyra and her smaller, less powerful dragon? They never took part in the Battle of the Gullet like in the book, but they will fly beside their queen into King's Landing. And I'm personally very interested to see how Daemon gets along with these guys. I'm guessing he knows their worth, but fears what could happen if they get a little bit too big for their boots. As for Alicent and Helaena, unfortunately, they will remain at King's Landing. Rhaenyra and Alicent had a deal, but after Jace's death, all bets are off. The Red Keep is just not safe for them anymore. Once again, Alicent is an outsider. Rhaenyra will take the capital and anything green is getting burnt. And many are speculating that Helaena may finally get a scene with Dreamfire, who did show up in Season 1 when Aemond tried to go down that path in the Dragon Pit. But we've never had Helaena and Dreamfire together. So I'm hoping we do get that scene eventually. But by the looks of it, Alicent will eventually take a trip north to Harrenhal, perhaps to rejoin Aemond after she witnesses firsthand Rhaenyra the Cruel. Maybe she plans on meeting up with her brother and Criston Cole. Like I said, she's an outsider now. King's Landing is not safe for her nor her family. Even if she stays true to her word and opens the city gates, Jace's death changes everything. But now it's Aemond's turn at Harrenhal to enjoy the company of Alice Rivers, a character who he becomes very close to in the books. I fully expect Aemond to show up and clear house with Vhagar, but I'm not too thrilled about the idea of Aemond having his own sequence of visions just like his uncle. I'm not saying that's going to happen, I don't know. But I've got a feeling they might go down a similar path, which will eventually lead to the battle above the God's Eye. They probably just don't have a clue what to do with Aemond and Vhagar right now. They have to keep them away from the action until he's ready to face Daemon in Season 4. And in Aemond's place, Ormond Hightower is being set up as the main villain of this season. He leads his armies against Daemon's, but it's clear he has his own motives. He's not on Team Green, not really, he's on his own team, Team Hightower. They want to put the kid who grew up in Old Town that looks more Hightower than Targaryen on the throne. And as for the face of Team Green, the man they crowned king, Aegon and Larys are now prisoners, likely en route to have their heads taken off by Dark Sister. But it's never that easy. Larys is a slippery fellow, and Aegon still has a massive part to play in this story. He has sworn to kill his brother for what happened at Rook's Rest, but he has more immediate concerns, like staying alive. They clearly escape, but the problem with Aegon, like many characters at this point, is they do very little in the book, and the show has to create new material for them. Sometimes it works wonders, sometimes you get fantastic characters like Viserys, whilst other times you get Daemon's nightmares. Let's just hope Aegon isn't wasted in 5-minute cameos each week until he gets back on track. It looks like at some point he will reunite with Sunfire, so that's probably the highlight of his season. I feel a lot of characters right now are just waiting for Season 4. They don't have much to do until the finale. And even though I wasn't fully blown away by the opening episode, I'm still very hyped for the remaining 7. They're never going to please everyone with every decision they make, but I kind of like where much of the story is going, whilst I have my reservations about others. But only time will tell. We'll have to see how it plays out. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.